Down. Storms were severe a little bit earlier at about 11:30 through the lunchtime hour, and now those storms have weakened significantly. Still have some strong storms off into Arkansas, but as far as the heavy rain in Green Country, we've had some additional showers develop up to the north. Still tracking thunderstorms possibly moving into southwestern Oklahoma. Those look to be weakening. Look at this storm system, though. It started off last night well out over the high plains, moved into southwestern Oklahoma, weakened, re-strengthened overnight. It's actually called an MCV. We call it. It's kind of a nerdy term, but it's a mesoscale convective vortex is what that is. And basically it's a group of thunderstorms that are spinning. They become their own area of low pressure basically, and it is spinning counterclockwise, dumps very heavy rain, and likely usually on the eastern sides will produce some strong to severe storms with some hail and some wind. And that's exactly what we saw. They're usually very heavy rainmakers too. We're starting to dry out across much of the area. Have a new shower I want to point out just north of downtown, moving in from the north. But overall, it's been more of a heavy rainmaker over the last several hours down to the south and southeast. Okay, so those rainfall totals have been a little spotty up to the north. Of course, not much in Tulsa, but just down to the south, we have had a swath of rain that if you look at the rain gauges, you won't see it. Okay, and that's the thing about these types of storms. The rain is very localized. So Wagner, half of an inch of rain, just south of Muskogee, 3/4 of an inch of rain. But if we zoom in on this area a little bit and look at the radar estimated rainfall totals, they have been through the roof. Okay, we're talking anywhere from 2.5 to 3 inches of rain. Locally, 4.5 inches have fallen. Okay, and that has led to some flash flooding. Darren's been out and about in the Muskogee area, and Darren, you're still driving around in the area. You had some very high water just a little bit earlier. Kind of give us an update of what you've seen and how it's looking now.
Yeah, Lacey, Muskogee and Fort Gibson kind of got the brunt of the heavy rainfalls. Here in Muskogee, the city crews have shut down Gullick Avenue, which is on the south side of Muskogee, just north of Peak Boulevard. It's kind of on the east side of Grandview Estates. It's just a typical flood-prone area. Those that live down here know what I'm talking about. Also, Cherokee Drive on the south side of Muskogee. City crews have closed that down. And then over 10 on the way to Bragg's, the underpass there has been shut down by the state. So there was a water rescue there earlier of an elderly couple, but they're all okay. The point is, if you're out and about driving this evening and they have those signs up, just be cautious of those signs and turn around, don't drown, Lacey.
Okay, thanks for that update, Darren. Vaughn also has been out and about in the Muskogee area all the way over to Tahlequah, down to Keys. And Darren, Vaughn, you had some circulation a little bit earlier with a few of those cells when they were severe. Talk about what you're seeing now.
Well, right now we're just dealing with the aftermath of all the rain. I just had a report of I pulled up where they got it blocked off. This is Gulick on the south side of Muskogee. If you're looking at the feed there, but the lady that was stopped back there at the blockade, she said she saw a vehicle come down in here and then floated off, and so that's what prompted. And I do see the vehicle. He pulled up into a driveway, and now his engine's smoking. So that's what's going to happen if you drive off into these deep areas. You'll get that water up in your engine, and you'll just ruin your whole car. But thankfully, nobody was hurt. He's out of his car and walking around up here to my right. But anyway, we're just dealing with the aftermath of all this rain, Lacey. And the circulations that we saw earlier, they were just minor ones. There wasn't too big of a tornado threat today, but there was some actual rotation going on with a couple of those cells.
Okay, thanks so much. And that's kind of what we were thinking today, that we would have the potential for heavy rain, also potentially some small hail and damaging winds. The tornado setup definitely hasn't been there, but like Vaughn was saying, right now, look at that road. You can tell that's very high water. You don't know how high it is, and even if you've got a pretty tall vehicle, not something you want to try to drive through. Okay, just wait till this water recedes. It will do so throughout the evening. May make it a little tough, may add a little bit of time to wherever it is you're trying to get to, but I promise you that's worth it. Definitely don't want to have a smoking engine, okay, on your Wednesday. Just avoid that. All right, we did have a storm system move on through. Look on visible satellite. You can see the cloud deck with it, and you can also see the motion, okay, from space. Looking down, you can see that spin, that counterclockwise spin as this pushes off into Arkansas and clearing skies now off to the west, and we are starting to clear out on the west sides of Tulsa. Another way to look at that is water vapor imagery. So we're looking at very moist air and very dry air, and you can see on the backside it's pulling in very dry air. That's those darker colors, and that's why we're seeing the rain really start to wind down. It's kind of choking itself off. And right now in the Osage Casino Skycam network, this is a live look in downtown, looking off to the west just a little bit. We have blue skies at 76 degrees. Heat index right now about a degree warmer, 77, but it's a lot hotter out west, mid upper 80s. We have winds that are light and variable, okay, and that's going to be the case tonight and really into the day tomorrow. It'll be a north wind. Main jet stream pattern is very weird for this time of year. I'll be honest with you, this is not something we typically see in late spring type of a setup, and that is northwest flow coming across Oklahoma, and that's what's bringing us those wave after wave of thunderstorm chances, and that's typically when we see these MCV type complexes. All right, your hour by hour forecast planning off the day. Yes, the rest of the evening rain chances very slight. May have one of those little tiny pop-up showers, but for most of the day we're done with the rain in Tulsa. Tonight will be a cooler night with temperatures in the lower and mid 60s, and then tomorrow right back up into the mid and even upper 80s with that northeast breeze at 5 to 15. I think we're dry into your Thursday. Our next opportunity for rain will be Friday, and that chance is still very slight. I think a few pop-up thunderstorms. More rain chances into your weekend. We'll have that timeline for you coming up. We'll also show you some more of that flooding video from earlier this afternoon. It was kind of wild. That's going to be in our evening newscast. Make sure the very latest version of our app will keep you updated on the flood advisories there, and also keep you updated on that rain timeline. Go to newson6.com/connect.